Hello, home skillets. So, my live ego death video didn't make much sense, so I'm just gonna explain it now that I'm out of it. So, pretty much what happened was I think every time you have an ego death with a person, you astral project with another person, you gain a lesson from them. And my lesson that I learned from Tiara was that we should put ourselves in other living beings' shoes and realize how much of an impact our actions make on their lives. And I think her superpower is empathy towards animals, and I'm pretty sure. Sorry, I just ate pizza. But I'm pretty sure she was an animal in her past life. Because she told me that we are pretty much our pets' entire lives and their entire world. And that's crazy to think that we have such a big impact on another living being. If you make their life great, who's to say that you're not going to live in their shoes one day? And how would you want to be treated, you know? So I definitely learned a lesson of empathy in that. Another thing is, let me think. So, we're all one. And I'm pretty sure when we die, we're gonna be put back into the energy that causes the motions for living beings and anything with a consciousness. So ego deaths are pretty much like a preview of what is going to be next in our stage of existence. I made a diagram again. So this is how we live on a day-to-day basis. Our self is in the core of the ego. And when we have an ego death, our core self is above the ego, and it's also everywhere else. And while we were making that video, we were FaceTiming my friend Grace Cam, and we also had the camera recording us, and we saw Cam on one phone, we saw ourselves on the other phone. So that's that could be pretty much representative of a human being seeing and being seen. And I feel like that's also what it's like to experience an ego death. You see yourself in others, and you also see yourself, but you don't see yourself as yourself. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like when your ego dies, you see yourself more in others than you do in yourself. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Because caring for others, loving others, being there for others, that's just a form of self-love. Because others are a part of yourself. And you gotta take care of yourself. Take care of others. Because they are you, and you are them, and we are one. What was another thing I was gonna say? Yes. So, when you experience an ego death, some people have a hard time with this, but since you don't feel connected to your body, it's hard to move it around, because the universe is the energy that puts us into motion, and we are experiencing the motions day-to-day life. When your ego dies, you experience the energy that you have to put into the motions. You have to think about it. You have to really want to move, to be able to move. That's why people do that, do this when their ego dies, because they're just testing out their bodies, because it feels like you're a newborn baby. You have to learn how to work it all over again. That's another thing I love about it, because when you experience an ego death, you are the mother and you are the newborn child at the same time. You realize that you're gifted life and you have to take care of this life, and you have to not take it for granted, because who knows when it's gonna diminish? Who knows when your physical is not gonna be here anymore and you're just gonna be the energy in the air? You get to experience more things as the physical. We are vessels for energy to flow through. And the universe is grateful for us, because we get to fucking experience ourselves. We're like, I want to say we're like a cast of characters, and I'm pretty sure we're just made up from the universe's imagination. We're just each other's imaginary friends, but we're so different, and I think the universe gives us egos to experience ourselves in different lights, and to take us further and further away from our essential self, because we already know ourselves. We know ourselves well enough. We experience the lack of time. We don't have time. Time isn't real, but we created time for our physical selves, so we would be able to keep track and make the process of being alive easier for us. So we have schedules, so we have day and night, so we have sleep time, so we're able to nourish ourselves easier, to know when we're supposed to eat, so we can take care of ourselves in an easier fashion than it would be without time there. So I think that's really cool. And we're pretty much just avatars, like video game characters, created by the central self, and our goal is to level up and to keep ourselves alive and to keep this process of life going on, because that's all the universe knows how to do. It doesn't know why it's here, it doesn't know who created it. It just does what it does best, and that's existing. So, hope you learned something from this video, but that was just me explaining the live ego death Lost in the Sauce video. I'm pretty sure it didn't make much sense, because when you're having an ego death, your brain's going at a higher frequency than your body. That's why you can't feel anything. That's why you can't explain it well, because it's hard to talk through your mouth when you're not thinking right. But vape outro. Adios, my dudes.